The first shadows. Since she was a child in a small village in Northumberland, Lucy had felt different. She loved football as much as she loved breathing, but home was not always a safe place. A close relative, who visited often, had darkened Lucy's childhood, with unseen touches and hidden threats in the dark. Lucy did not dare tell her mother. She ran to the backyard and kicked the ball against the wall, hundreds of times. Each kick was a silent scream. Each sweat was a hidden grievance. The wind in the opposite direction. In her high school years, when football began to open its doors, Lucy became the victim of gossip. A male coach, who was supposed to be her mentor, took advantage of that trust. "If you want to be selected for the first team," he whispered. Lucy refused. She was benched, misunderstood by her friends, but she didn't give up. She changed schools. She kept quiet, played football and waited for the day she could speak up. When the wind changed. At 18, Lucy decided to tell the truth, not to the press, but in a handwritten letter to herself. "I'm not weak. I'm not wrong. I'll play football for the girls who can't speak up." She kept the letter in her boot every time she went out on the pitch. It was like a vow. No one would ever steal her passion again. The journey of rebirth. From Everton to Liverpool, then Lyon, Manchester City in England, Lucy Bronze is more than just a good defender. She is a symbol of mental strength. After becoming a Euro 2022 champion, Lucy spoke for the first time about her childhood scars in a private talk with young female players. "Don't let anyone silence you. Don't let the darkness become normal. And never think you're not worthy of love or protection." Light behind the wind. In 2024, Lucy founded the Silent Boots Foundation, supporting girls in sports who have been sexually harassed. She doesn't go into detail about her past, but she lets her actions speak for themselves. Lucy Bronze doesn't live in the past. She lives for the future, for the girls who are silently kicking a ball in the dark, waiting for a breeze to blow. Round Pushpin 1 Introduction. Date posted, Sunday, August 10, 2025. Author, Eleanor Shaw, freelance investigative journalist, winner of the 2022 Orwell Prize. I used to wish I wasn't Lucy Bronze, at least in my early years. Quote from an unpublished conversation with Lucy Bronze, May 2025. She was an icon, a European champion, a great player who made England proud. But behind the lights, behind the confident smile and the captain's armband, there was a series of suffocating silences. Round Pushpin 2 The first crack, the unreceived letter. In February 2025, my newsroom received an anonymous letter, in scrawl and with no return address. The first line sent a chill down my spine. "I shared a changing room with Lucy Bronze when I was 13. I know what she's been hiding all these years." The letter recounted small details: the smell of soap in the Annick High School changing room, the strange bruise on Lucy's left wrist every time she came home from school, and most notably, a man who would show up at night, claiming to be a close cousin. Round Pushpin 3 Dig deep into the past. I quietly returned to the small town in Northumberland County, where Lucy was born. Everyone there loved her, but when asked about her family, about her uncle Mr., no one wanted to mention it. An anonymous former teacher said, "Lucy was very sensitive to being touched. She once slapped a boy for a shoving joke. We thought she was too stubborn. When I looked through my high school records from 2005 to 2007, I discovered something strange. Lucy had been absent for nearly 3 weeks, but there was no clear medical reason in the school records." Round Pushpin 4 The meeting, the first confession. In May 2025, after nearly 3 months of exchanging encrypted emails, Lucy agreed to meet me at a cafe in Manchester. She was wearing a grey hoodie and no makeup. I didn't plan on telling anyone, but if my silence allows people like him to continue to exist, I won't forgive myself. Lucy confirmed that she was sexually abused by a relative for 5 years, from the ages of 7 to 12. Later, a middle school football coach also offered her a condition in exchange for a starting spot, which she refused and was dropped from the squad. Round pushpin 5. The system is out of right stock. Why did a famous player like Lucy wait 20 years to speak out? Because of the system, because of suspicion, because of the stereotype that successful women cannot be weak, because women's football itself was never designed to protect athletes from gender-based violence. If I were a man, if I cried on the pitch, I would be laughed at. If I said I had been abused, they would say I was using it for PR. Round pushpin 6. The fight is not over. Lucy filed a formal complaint with Northumbria Police in June 2025. The man, named MR, was arrested and is currently under investigation. The case is being kept confidential at the victim's request. She also officially launched the organization, Silent Boots, an organization that protects female athletes who have suffered sexual and psychological violence. Round pushpin. The end, a shot into silence. Every shot I take is no longer aimed at the goal, but at the silence that has held me captive for 20 years. Lucy doesn't need people's pity. She needs justice. And when a football icon dares to name her pain, it's not just a personal victory, it's the opening ball for a whole generation to dare to speak out. A drop of water in the cold wind. In July 2025, the case was brought to light. Before Newcastle Crown Court, Lucy Bronze faced the man who had once been her close cousin, now the main defendant in a 5-year-old child molestation case. She did not tremble, she did not duck, and she did not cry. I have come here today not to be pitied, but to reclaim the honor of the 7-year-old girl who tried to scream in silence. Lucy Bronze, excerpt from her court testimony. The courtroom fell silent, not because of shock, but because of a profound truth: she was not alone. Balance scale. The trial of the anonymous. When the first report was published, a series of messages flooded into the Silent Boots inbox. I was raped by a coach at a football academy when I was 15. I thought I was the only one, but now I am not. Thank you, Lucy. You made me brave enough to tell. This is no longer the story of an athlete. This is the first shot at the silence of the system. Megaphone from the pitch to the Forum of Justice. In August 2025, the FA, England's Football Association, officially launched an independent investigation into allegations of sexual harassment in the women's football training system. FIFA has appointed Lucy Bronze as the honorary ambassador for its Safe Touch program, to educate, detect and prevent abuse in sport globally. If I had to choose between winning a World Cup and preventing another girl from going through what I went through, I would choose the latter. Lucy Bronze, at the TED Women 2025 conference. Checkered flag. Conclusion: no one plays alone. Lucy did not return to professional football, but she went to every school pitch, telling her story, not eloquently, not staged, but with a sincerity that made it impossible to turn away. In a letter to her 7-year-old self, read on the BBC at the end of the year: "You are not broken, you are not dirty, you do not deserve to be forgotten. One day, you will turn all your pain into strength, and the world will listen." Checkmark. Conclusion, from the reporter. There are victories without goals. There are matches that are not televised. But when a woman dares to tell the story that should have been hidden for life, that is the most resounding goal that the whole society must recognize. Lucy Bronze is not just a player. She is the starting whistle for a more humane and safer sport.